Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to this really exciting new webinar. How's everyone doing? Yeah, Glorify Affiliates community. It's been quite some time since we've had a touch base on how things are going, and I'm really curious. Hopefully business has been great, and you've been doing other kinds of promotions. I'm sure we've been really busy behind the scenes building Glorify 3.0. But as we're just starting out, I think people are still trickling in. We'll give it a minute or two for people to trickle in. But in the meantime, I want everyone to get nice and cozy, nice and comfortable. Get yourself a cup of tea, get a drink. Make sure all distractions are switched off. Mobile notifications. Okay, maybe that might be too far, but at least tell your family and your kids to not come and disturb you in your man cave or your cave. And I want to be gender inclusive, of course. And other than that, yeah, I think we're going to get started really soon. Also drop in the comments where you're tuning in from. What's your name, where you're tuning in from, and what brought you to this webinar. What excites you about this opportunity. We did describe it in a basic summary, and I'm sure you know what this is about. We're going to go much more deeper into it today, but we'd love to hear your thoughts, your initial thoughts, your first impressions in the comments section. I know it's strange. It's a new opportunity. We're building Glorify 3.0. We're about to uncover all of that stuff. But for now, I just want to hear your initial thoughts. So drop it in the comments section. Thanks. Also, while that's coming in, I also like to introduce my co-host today. We got Magoob in the house. Magoob is the co-creator who created the MVP of this new opportunity we're creating. I'm going to show to you. So this is Magoob. Hey, Magoob.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you all. This is the first time you're probably going to be seeing my face. So glad to share it with you all. So nice to meet you all. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Thanks for that, Magoob. And Magoob is going to talk a bit more about his involvement in the project very soon. And we'll get to that in a moment. But again, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Eddie. Hi, Mr. Sharp. Hi, Andra. Hi, Michael. All right, I think we've given it enough time. I'm sure a lot of people will be trickling in as we continue, but I can see a good amount of viewers already in the room, in the area, and tuning in. So that's awesome. So we'll just get straight into it. So yeah, welcome everyone. First, a couple of updates that I have for you today. If I could get to my slides. Just run through what we're going to be covering. Now, this opportunity is unmatched. It's something that I'm really excited to share with you guys. And believe me, this is something that's going to blow you away in terms of what we got from you. It's been a huge learning curve for me over the last year. Trying to, learning UI UX. Of course, Figma recently had a huge exit, so that we know that there's a huge importance in this space. It's been important for a long time, to be honest. We all know that. I think a software company is incomplete without good UI UX design, but I think there's a focus in terms of the process and how it gets done in these days to make it more efficient. And we're going to touch on that today. But the outline of today's webinar is how we got here, the intro of Together.Design, the importance of UI UX. Magoob is then going to cover the commission structure, your outreach activities, and we're going to then cover a bit of Q&A. So let's get straight into it. So just before that, I think everyone deserves to know, you guys are all Glorify affiliates originally, so all of you deserve to know what is going on with Glorify 3.0 right now. So it's still currently under build. It's in beta. You can go check it out. It's on a live site. We're building away. Design tools are no easy feat. They are the most complex of complex technologies. You can see that, how much they're valued at by the recent 20 billion exit by Adobe. So no doubt the space is booming, and it requires patience. It requires a lot of focus into building the best product possible. We don't want to be another Canva. We don't want to be another Figma. We want to become the ultimatum of balance, the most easiest to use design tool for non-designers, but yet powerful and unmatched, powerful and adjacent to the complex tools like Adobe. So professional designers can harness full creative freedom with Glorify. So it's that epitome of balance that we're reaching, and we keep reaching that every single day. We just submitted all the last milestones for the dev team, and the dev team are heavily just kind of buried under the work to get it going and get it done. And we're preparing some launches in the next couple of weeks. There's going to be we're going to come out to beta soon, and then we're going to subsequently most likely do a Black Friday deal for those of you who are not lifetime deal users, or for those users who are who don't have access. This is a huge opportunity, because we're going to create a really valuable discount subscription plan for everyone that's interested. And it's going to be an awesome tool. I think everyone's going to be in love with Glorify because of the amount of work we've made to make it accessible to any level of user that doesn't regardless of their skill level, and that's what's our philosophy. Our product philosophy has been all the time. Now, to rein it back to Together.Design, I'd like to move into the next slide very quickly. This commission structure. Actually, you know what? I need to share my screen. Let me do that. And what I'm going to do is get my browser up. Together. All right. So I'm sure all of you guys can see my screen now. For those of you who can't for any reason, just do mention in the comments, and we'll try to kind of troubleshoot. Now, UI UX has been a huge journey for us at the team, for the entire team at Glorify. We've had so many iterations of the product. Everyone knows this, that it's been a very painful process, to be honest. The team has been constantly pushing ourselves to never really been truly satisfied at what we arrived at each stage as a product, until very recently we found and we've cracked the kind of user experience that we truly want. And that journey has been really painful. I want to talk about that journey because honestly, this will shed light on the value of UI UX design. It's the single most valuable process, or the most valuable culture that you need inside any startup, any tech startup specifically, who has a digital product that lives on an interface online or in a local on a local platform, right? And so with that in mind, I'm going to jump into exactly how we kind of evolved from Glorify, and the pain and struggles that we went, and how we've optimized the process, and what led us to create Together.Design. So there's in fact an awesome case study that actually covers a lot of what I have to say, that summarizes what I have to say. But I'm going to go into a little bit more depth on this webinar. And you can find that case study if you go to Together.Design, go to case studies, and check out the Glorify case study, building a design tool startup from scratch, right? Now, this is sort of my notes, so to speak, for this presentation. I'll be honest, I've been quite ill lately, so I haven't had much time to prepare. But I know all of you guys, and I know you guys are gonna be excited about this regardless. So So when Glorify started out, this was way back in 2016. For those of you guys who are not familiar with how UI UX design, what the process involved back in 2016, Figma was on the radar. It wasn't as popular. The dominating design tool for UI UX design specifically was Sketch, but you had to have a MacBook to be able to operate Sketch. So it was very limited. Adobe XD, which is the other competitive UI UX design tool, was not available at the time. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, just in case, you guys might not be familiar what UI UX design means. It's actually user experience or user interface design. Essentially, designing applications like Glorify, like what the interface and the experience of Glorify. So what you see here, this is Figma. This is a design tool for UI UX. And what we do with this tool is to actually design apps or web experiences via the interface. And we prototype them. And what ends up happening, it actually functions and works just like almost like a real application. Synonymous to the exact. I mean, this is actually just a design, a dummy design, and it works just as the application would work as a sort of preview. So that is the power of UI UX design. Now, that's not how UI UX. This is the power of UI UX design, but that's not how it always started for a lot of companies, including myself. And going back to the story, when we started Glorify, because I didn't have access to an Apple Mac at the time, I had to brave it through with Photoshop. I'm sure a lot of you guys know what Photoshop is. It's a painful process to design an app on Photoshop, believe me or not, to use vectors, and it's a raster tool at the end of the day, meaning that I won't go into the technical details. It's just a painful process, right? And I still braved it through and managed to get the MVP of Glorify out, designed it. And then eventually we realized that the best way to be optimized to create UI UX and deliver it faster was to move it onto the well-known tool at the time called Sketch, right? Which is highlighted over here. So we designed it on Sketch. Well, we first launched Glorify. We got revenue positive. It was a hugely successful launch. A lot of you guys are familiar with that launch. We generated over $500,000 in revenue, and that's what was allowed us to pump that revenue plus point into Glorify and to grow it to what it is now. I mean, if you look at what Glorify was 3 years ago, I'm sure, like, I know Eddie's in this call. I know Michael and Alina, that all of you guys are familiar affiliates that I appreciate. It was completely different. It looked like, you can see this picture over here. If I can try to zoom in a bit more, it looked a bit like this, right? In this little thumbnail over here. Well, over here. So it was kind of Canva-esque, and we wanted to go with the safest option just to get our product out there. It was an e-commerce focused design tool at the time, but the ambition grew, and we realized, hey, we want to make the ultimate balanced design tool that is perfect for professional designers and non-designers alike. The balance, the epitome of balance between the complexity of Adobe and the basicness of Canva. And we went on that mission, and we raised funding. We raised VC funding. They were happy with the results we got with such a basic MVP. A lot of your affiliates helped us to get to this revenue goal and the revenue milestone. And very shortly after, we launched 2.0. And by that time, we had moved from Sketch to Figma, because and this is an important point, just for you guys to know the power of Figma and how important UI UX design is today, and using Figma. And this Together.Design product is all about Figma. In fact, it's a complementary product to the Figma community, and this is why it's important for you guys to know how you're going to promote this. Sketch was had the biggest market share in UI UX design. All the designers were designing interfaces on Sketch. Suddenly, that started plummeting as Figma made a bigger appearance and had some unique features, very simple features that made it unique to any design tool, any specifically UI UX design tool. Live collaboration and components. It lived on the cloud, and it was cross-platform. Okay, you didn't need to own a Mac. And for the first time, the whole team can come on one file, comment. The dev team can come, pull out code, pull out ideas. We can all collaborate, because building an app is collaborative. It's much easier and faster to get to the goal. The dev team can directly, instead of screenshotting a piece of the app and telling us, hey, how does this work? They can simply go on the design and comment, for example. And if I was to show you how that works, you simply, if you guys, for those who are not familiar with Figma, it just goes boom, comment, hi, great work, right? We do also have this feature on Glorify as well. And this is a little side note. Right. And we launched 2.0, and still we were good at Figma, but it took us 1 year to launch 2.0. it was a painful process. We had a designer who had a great vision and great ambition, but he just wasn't good at high fidelity design. It was very low fidelity, meaning there's a lot of loose ends that I had to tie up and clean up after his designs, and I had to kind of fill in the gap. So I was just going into the Figma file myself. Our team was small at the time, fixing all of these issues and trying to uncover every step in the flow. Because if you imagine an app, if you use an app like Facebook, anything, every button, every click has to be accounted for, and the dev team needs to know what they mean and where they land, right? So we finally hired an agency to help us, refine the process, because we wanted to now release the 3.0 and develop more further features. And we hired this awesome agency who truly knew what UI UX design was about, meaning design systems and robust design systems and interactive components, which I'm going to go into in just a moment. So yeah, and a couple of things that are really unique, really important to point out. Good UI UX design can impact, right? And this is for your customers that you're promoting to, right? For SaaS companies, for software companies, for enterprise companies that have a digital platform, for e-commerce stores that have a vast digital ecosystem, like, website, marketplace, all this stuff, right? And there's so many companies coming out. They are your users, and they're easy to access on LinkedIn, on Product Hunt, on Fiverr. And Magoo will go into that in a moment. But really important, how does UI UX, a good UI UX design, affect the whole business? Because it really truly is the entire, it improves the whole digital business. Like, it saves you so much money and time, it's insane. Like, we could have saved probably 2 years worth of time in Glorify had we known the knowledge we know today about UI UX. And what it affects is the dev handoff time. Developers need 100% final UI designs with extremely clear documentation. Without this, the team are just sitting ducks. It affects the quality of, this is what UI UX design, the process affects. It affects the quality of development. It affects the marketing and growth goals, and it affects the bottom line, right? As in the revenue you make. Because, if your marketing and your marketing goals are not set right, then your bottom line is going to be destroyed, and you're going to end up losing your business. And we've almost reached those points in Glorify, and luckily for raising funding and people that believe in our vision, we were able to still stay afloat. But if other companies know about this process, they can build their product much faster than their competitors, get it to market, and have zero headache to work with their dev team to get their product live, right? And in fact, once we started educating ourselves about design systems, which I'm going to show you in a moment, I went through a vigorous training myself personally to learn about design systems. And so I just want to get to that point here. So this is the design, this is the revamped design system for Glorify, where things started getting more organized, the color systems, the fonts. I'm going to get into all this stuff. Once we were able to do all of this, the dev team, for an example, specifically in an example app that I was able to build recently, we were able to build that application, which would ordinarily take me probably like 6, 7, 8 months. The majority of the alpha was built in 2 months. That's the power. So imagine the amount of overhead these SaaS companies, digital businesses are saving every single month by investing in good UI UX. And because we had the knowledge, we had the team, we had the designers, we had the resources, we knew we had to offer this to the world. We had, Glorify is, been shipped in terms of design. There's no other design work that's left to be done. And our designers are sitting ducks, our UI UX designers. We want to put them to use, and we wanted to share this valuable knowledge with other startups to help them get active and get their product out there faster and more efficiently. And that's where Together.Design was built. So this website that you see here, I'm going to show you. So this is Together.Design, of course. Now I'm going to show you the power of design systems in a nutshell. So this is how design systems work. This is a very basic one. So when I went through the training, including my entire team who's gone through the training, some of the team members in the UI UX project were actually they are originally UI UX designers, so they were already trained experts. And I just wanted to also be aligned, so I trained myself. The entire team got trained, so we have this vast knowledge to offer to companies. and lead their teams and bring that culture in-house for them for a very affordable rate. Now, how does UI UX design systems work? Well, you have what we call style guides. It's just your foundations, your colors, your fonts, your icons, your buttons, variations, your fields, your lists. And believe it or not, these little basic things, if you make them into components, make them into component variants, which is a powerful feature of Figma, and then you prototype these components, meaning you can actually make them interactive. You see these components being rigged to each other so that they're actually interactive. You're going to see the result in a moment. These are then taken and put into the component section to actually build out real components, as you see here. It's powerful. And then from here, you can see an example. So here's a component that we created from those base components, the foundation that you saw here. It's a little widget for this app that we're launching. So that's a little sneak peek of something that's coming soon, a little personal project of mine. Side note. But let's go and show you how the component would look like. So this is what an interactive component would look like. It actually works like the real application with the menus and the buttons and the clicks and the fields and the texts. So it all works. Now, let's go and see what then these are pushed into. These are then further pushed into actual screens. So if you look at this, here's a full prototype that we created. And all these screens with these little components are rigged. And then what the result is, this, an actual lifelike, fully functional app. Now, if we had this knowledge to build in Glorify, like if we were able to prototype it in this way, fully accurately, we would have saved all that painful headache of creating dev documents. Dev documents is just basically explaining the dev team how things work. They take hours and hours. It was mostly me doing them. Sometimes a team member would help, and it would just be weeks of my time just writing every button. You click this button, it leads to that. You click that button, it leads to this. And it was just such a joke. And so imagine those weeks, months condensed into nothing, literally. Like the dev team comes in here and he goes, okay, you click this and this is how that works. And if you drag this, it goes like that. And if you click this menu, it opens that pop-up, right? They literally don't have to think anymore, and again, that's the power of design systems. So even like these pop-ups work. If you look at this, the count and billing, I don't know why that's not working on this page, but this is, yeah. So in certain places it won't work because it is a dummy after all. So you got to tell them where the pop-ups will show up. But as you can see, how powerful this is. Now, this is the power of UI UX. Now, I want to mention one more fact, something to go check out on the UI UX design page, the Together.Design page that you guys are going to be promoting. Magoob is going to come in a minute to tell you about the commission structure, how it's going to work. Last point is basically check out one of the most successful case studies that we're able to do since building this as an MVP. We started the MVP a couple of months ago. It was run by Magoob, Magoob. And around 6 months ago, we launched the MVP. It was a huge success. And we signed off Teespring, print-on-demand giant enterprise company, was attracted to the service because of our process. And if you look at this case study, they were blown away what we were able to deliver for them. They had a 2.0 product, and we were able to build it in half the time. If you look at what Jared said, the creative director, he said it would have taken us months to design this to something like this in high fidelity and tactile interactivity, but you guys pulled it off in 2 weeks. Jared Fowler, creative director of Teespring. This is the prototype we actually built for him. You can see the little GIF that actually animates every click, every step. Most UI UX designers don't do this. They just give you loose screens and you have to figure out the rest for yourself. So this service is important for tech startups. There's an abundance of tech startups and they need this. They'll pay good money for it. And we've got the resource for it and we're growing that resource. Together.Design is going to become the Uber of UI UX design. Because Figma has made it so easy, literally all it takes is give me that link to your design file and a designer will sign an NDA and drop in your file and start chatting away. You can even chat on Figma live to people. Like, I don't know if Magoob's got access to the file. Magoob, do you have access to the file to show the value of Figma to the users? He doesn't have access. That's fine. But yeah, I mean, you can chat to each other and say, hey, and literally, talk it out, uncover problems and execute. It's just powerful, guys. And this is what Figma has created. No wonder their $20 billion exit. I'm sure it all makes sense to you now. So with that said, I think my time is up. I've gone way over time, to be honest. I'm going to pass it over to Magoob. This is off the cuff, guys. So I do apologize. I might have been waffling at points, but from here, Magoob is going to take over and walk you through the exciting part, is how you guys get involved. So Magoob, do you want to jump in? Let's get you.
Hi, everyone. I'm in. Hey, so if you want to go to the third slide of the presentation,
let's do that.
That'd be great.
Yes. So how do I stop my screen? And then we do.
It's gone.
There we go. And
boom.
Yep.
All right, that's it. Hey, everyone. Magoob here again. Hope you guys enjoyed Omar's explanation of what Together.Design is and the value it can be adding to all of our clients, and hopefully the ones you're going to be reaching out to. Again, yeah, so just want to go back to what Omar said. The Teespring guys, I worked with them personally on the MVP of Together.Design, and they were really happy with the work. And knowing that we're able to work with such large clients and such established businesses is reassuring, knowing that, okay, Together.Design itself has a future and we can all be part of this future, which is great. So the part where you guys come in, I also recommend you guys have the Together.Design website open and just scroll down to the pricing, just so you can have like a better understanding of how much commissions you could be earning as well. So as you can see, the graphic itself is pretty self-explanatory. We're doing it in a staggered commission system. So from 1 to 4 sales, you earn 10% commission. From 5 to 8, 15, 9 to 12, 20, and then everything above 13 sales, you earn a flat 25% commission on each sale that we close, and that will happen each quarter. So each 3 months, you'll have that sliding scale, that commission, like the variable commission rate, and in the next 3 months we start again. It just helps keep things fresh and just helps us sort of move to the next level. And so essentially the more you sell, the more you earn, in essence. So in terms of like what outreach activities that like expect you, we kind of hope for you to do, we know that you guys know different people in your own networks and have your own different approaches. So we want to give you the absolute freedom to promote the affiliate links in the way that you see best. For some of you, it might be running ads. For others, it might be going to in-person events. We don't want to tell you how to push your affiliate links or just affiliates in certain ways. The resources that we'll provide to help you with are case studies for one. We're hoping to open a Facebook page for exclusive Together.Design affiliates, just so we can all communicate with each other and kind of share best practice with each other. Because when one person figures out a new technique, he can share it with with everyone else. And bi-weekly calls as well. So once we start getting people coming in and signing up for to be Together.Design affiliates, we want to have like a bi-weekly calls just to catch up, see what progress everyone's made, if anyone's having any sticking points, any ideas. And the other resources that we'd like to share is to kind of hear from you guys, see what resources that you need. So ideally after the call, if you could just like either write a comment right now in the chat and just write what resources you feel like you would need to sell a high ticket item to people within your network. So that's the outreach strategy. But again, because it's such a high ticket item, we kind of expect there to be for us to be working with people who in larger corporate environments. So I think it's important. So for some do's and don'ts, I think it's important not to overpromise when you're pushing your affiliate link, but to encourage them to hop on a call with us. We'll do the sales calls. We'll take it from there. So ideally, once you find the affiliate, they'll hop on the sales call. They'll have an understanding what Together.Design is, so they have a sort of good understanding of how kind of everything happens. So also, I think this is clear, but don't say you're a Together.Design employee. It should be clear, but I just want to say that now. please reach out to me. I'll have my email in the follow-up blog post we're going to send to you guys. Please share like any ideas, any concerns you might have, any of your excitement. Love to hear it. It's always useful to hear, and I'll get back to you immediately. I'm working all the time. Do work together to build success. So once we have the Facebook group ready, please just chat in there, communicate in there, do everything you can just to sort of share your ideas and feedback about how to either improve your process or other people's process, or even our process as well. This is a circular feedback loop here. Once we're all giving each other feedback, we'll all improve, we'll all get better. So yeah, be creative as well of how you're going to sort of close a sale or close a commission. For example, if you're on a 25% commission rate, if you wanna, if your client is very money focused, or they're very price sensitive, you could offer 10% of your commission rate as a 10% discount to them. We give you complete discretion to do that. So that's kind of the gist of it. So be as creative as possible. We encourage that. If you are creative with that, please again share it with the group. It'll be useful to hear what everyone's been doing. And also, I think that's it. Just give us feedback, ideas, any gripes and concerns that you might have, to help us do this. But yeah, I think that's everything on my end. I just want to make clear, there'll also be an email going out afterwards to clarify any points that we might have, or any questions that you'll get. Is if, for example, it's an organic recommendation, make sure we'll ask them who referred you to give us your email, and we also ask you to send us the email of the person that you referred as well, if it's an organic affiliate find. But yeah, that's everything I have on my end. Again, please put any questions that you might have about the commission structure. There will be an email going out tomorrow answering any questions that you might have. But yeah, thank you very much, and I'll pass it back to Omar to do the Q&A.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the last slide on. Do I need the last slide? What's the last slide? Yeah, if I can get
it'll be nice.
Yeah, cool to have the last slide. Right, Q&A time. So there is a question that says from Andra that it sounds like you would need a prospect list of 50 to 75 brands, companies to filter down to the 1 for sales threshold. Yeah, absolutely. So Andra, it seems like you understand sales, which is great. And that's precisely it. Magoob, do you want to kind of dive deep into like numbers, like what you recommend, people gather in terms of lists, and is there any consolidating they need to do with us in case we already have them as a lead, or I don't know if that's important?
I don't think it's an issue if they're already an existing lead. If they already work with us, then we'll shoot you an email saying, hey, this person's already signed up. But in terms of if that's a gripe of the 50 to 75% companies filtered down to a 1 to 4 sale threshold, it is over a quarter, over 3 months. So if you break the 50 brands and companies per week, that'll be 12 brands a week. So it is something that's doable, and something that is reachable. But again, it is a high ticket item. So that 10% for the lowest tier plan, which is the light plan, which is $3,000, that'll be a $300 kickback to you. There will be times where we adjust the payment structure, but that'll be like because of due to event. So like in the email, we were up to 30%. If there's an event going on, we will be adding like 30% commission structure at a later date, whenever there's like an event where we want to boost sales, for example. Andrea asks, is there an academy in production, or will founding members of that group be producing the content by experience? Again, we're all ears for the type of content you like to produce, and we'll do everything in our power to like collaborate with you to produce this content as well. Again, if you can share ideas, that'll be fantastic. So the content right now that exists is the case studies and the blog posts that we have on our website. currently. Again, any ideas that you have, please share them my way.
I just want to add to content. Content's of course important. I think your work as an affiliate, if you've got website that generates a certain amount of traffic, if you've got any channels that you own, I think those are the best places to start. So I think we're going to create graphic packs and stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
great. Are they going to be on Glorify or on Figma, like these templates?
That's up to us. So yet to decide.
Okay, I think we made the last templates on Glorify, so we should stick to that.
Right. Okay.
And well, it's free to use, so it's not a problem. And other than that, guys, I think just make sure that you if you look at the content that we've written, the clients that have signed up, and like pretty much any client that has walked it through the process or have booked a call or come into our website and were interested, have been excited about this and was an easy close for us. There hasn't been anyone that we haven't closed actually at this point.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's a valid point. Yeah, we've had almost 100% close rate. Yeah,
close rate.
Everyone that's come in has had an understanding of what Together.Design is and understanding what the importance of UI UX is. So that's what's made it easier to close. Like we made it clear about the website and in our initial outreach with how important it is to have a good UI UX culture within your company, and what value that adds as well. Like the value added is always important when you're talking to founders, that kind of stuff. And creative directors, you take a different approach, which is what we found. But yeah, that's the close rate that we have currently.
Yeah, exactly. And just to kind of reiterate those what Magoob said about the articles on the page. There's always little snippets, and we're going to be releasing articles weekly. Hopefully, that's our plan. So every week, the idea is to kind of launch an article that gives you a little in-depth view of a kind of area within UI UX, a technique. For example, things like color accessibility is an important one. We're going to do. Let me just quickly share this. I think this is important actually, just so you guys are clued up on the knowledge when you start to promote. So little things like this. We have Together, when we created Together.Design, we actually built the design system so that it was so easy to build. We built it really quickly, and it came with it. We built our own custom foundations, these colors. And so little things like that, like the fact that every color system needs an accessibility test. What this means is that if you have a color and you have a contrasting color on top, like the black text on top, does it fail or pass in terms of accessibility, meaning people are colorblind, people that have sort of general eyesight issues or different screen types? Everyone should be able to read the content when you design an application or digital experience. So just little details like that. We will be pushing content like this on Instagram soon. We haven't started it yet, on our blog. And these are resources that you guys can take advantage of. Just go in there, pull stuff, pull little snippets, and rewrite them in your own way if you like, or do a simple copy paste reference back to our site with your affiliate link, and you're good to go. Let's see if there's any. Is there any?
Omar, I think you're muted.
Yeah, I'm just looking at if there's another question. I think that's pretty much it. Is there an academy production? You just answered that.
Yeah, I just answered that.
Right. Yeah. All right, guys. We're gonna wait one more minute. If any other questions comes in, this is your chance, your opportunity. Alternatively, this video is going to live on Facebook and on YouTube. Drop your comments there. And also, just feel free to email the team at Together.Design. There's a Discord group, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. So should we plug the Discord as well? I wasn't sure if we should.
No, I think that's a good idea, because the Discord, we just need a channel for affiliates. We'll create a channel soon. But once you click Discord, all communities are moving to Discord, guys. It's just a much better way to keep in touch than Facebook groups and the rest. A lot of popular communities are moving here. And so we'll create a channel here for affiliates, and then, you can always have your questions answered. Yeah. And so the Discord channel, I think, will be a good communication if you have any questions. Other than that, I think we can wrap up. So
I just want to ask, is anyone here on Discord or not on Discord? Just type away. Oh, type away. If you're on Discord, or if you're on, I assume everyone's here is on Facebook, but if you're an active user on Discord. And Omar, there's a question from Eddie about Glorify 3.0.
Yes, Eddie. So 3.0, we've been trying to push for a early September launch. There was a couple of things that we want to iron out. We don't want to launch anything in the past. We've kind of took shortcuts and try to get our product out fast. We want to take our time and make sure that things are ironed out, and it's a smooth, buttery experience. For that reason, we pushed the deadline to mid-October now. So do stay tuned, Eddie. I know you're excited about it. It's coming soon. Thanks, Andra, for joining Discord.
Thank you. Welcome, Andra. If you can type in your in an intros channel, everyone who's here as well, on the intro channel, just type in an intro, letting us know what you do and who you are. Thank you, Bilal, as well. Thank you for joining the Discord as well. Just introduce yourself, and then it's where we're kind of building the community as well, for just generally for Together.Design at the moment. Awesome.
All right, guys. Magoo, shall we conclude?
Yeah, I think this is it. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. It's a wrap, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for listening, and really excited about this. Jump on this opportunity. This is going to be huge. Figma, huge exit, $20 million. It's a massive opportunity. Just honestly, look at the LTD community. I know a lot of you guys are original LTD sellers. The AppSumo market is just dying. The LTD world is dying. There's unfortunately, so many products have not been able to make the mark. And, myself, I made a personal commitment to never launch another application in the LTD community, because it's just simply not sustainable, and it doesn't give you that true kind of stance in the SaaS world, and for that reason, I know affiliates are being impacted to some degree. There's not a lot of great products there. This is a huge industry that's growing extremely fast. Productized service, tons of companies coming out in this space, and benchmark next to what we are offering. I think our service has so many unique aspects to it, and just weighs down all the other kind of platforms that are out there, to be honest. So jump on this opportunity. It's huge. I'll see you guys in Discord. Take care.
Yeah. See you guys soon. Right. Bye-bye.